Good morning. Oi, this is Filthy Ketchup. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. This is my true crime channel, live and in the making. Thank you for coming here. If you like true crime and you like unpacking things, this is the channel for you. Okay, this video is for entertainment purposes only, but I do want to let you know there is a trigger warning for this video because this is one of the most horrific cases I've ever come across. This case is absolutely off the charts horrific, so I just want to let you know if you're disturbed by anything like that to click off and watch one of my other videos. Okay, let's get into it. There's not much background to this other than to say this, like I said, this case is truly horrific and it really illustrates the dangers of laziness and apathy, lack of accountability and lack of interconnectivity. Okay, this case just really illustrates that, and it was such a betrayal of his parents. This is the case of Joel Guy Jr., the 28-year-old man who butchered his parents, dismembered their bodies, made a stew of their human remains and boiled his mother's head. Let's get straight into it. Joel Guy Jr. was born in 1988 in Knoxville, Tennessee. He graduated high school in 2006 and went on to college in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now, in 2016, his parents had reached retirement age. Joel Guy Jr. was 28, okay? And I just want to say that Joel Guy Sr. and Lisa Guy were wonderful parents. They were absolutely A-star parents. They gave him everything. He was the youngest in his family. He had 3 older sisters, and his parents gave him absolutely everything. Right? They were such supportive parents. But by this time, he's 28. He's been in college for 9 years. Okay, they've reached retirement age. They want to go and live their life, so they're going to break the news to Joel Guy Jr. that he's going to have to stand on his own 2 feet. Don't forget, they're paying everything. They're paying for his rent, they're paying for his college. He's been in college for 9 years. 9 years. He wanted to drop out, become a plastic surgeon, and he wanted his parents to pay for all of that. So we're in Thanksgiving to 2016, and they break the news to their 28-year-old son that they can't carry on supporting him. So Joel Guy Jr. begins to act really out of character. His neighbours testified, his sisters, his 3 older sisters testified that he was acting really, really out of character. He was being really bubbly, he was talking to everybody. Like normally he would, just blank his parents. He wouldn't speak to his parents, he wouldn't speak to the neighbours, he wouldn't speak to anyone. He would just go off in his room and sit in his room. But he began to act really, really out of character after Thanksgiving 2016. Now, Lisa Guy was still working at this time. Lisa Guy was Joel Guy Jr.'s mother, was working full time still to support her son. When she didn't show up for work, her colleague called the police and she asked for a welfare check to be done at Lisa Guy's house. Now, the police turn up and the 2 cars are in the driveway. There's blood all over the steps. The police they get into the house, and the medical examiner testified. She said, "We saw dismembered body parts, multiple rooms covered in blood and body parts. We knew that this was a very unusual and very horrific crime scene." On the 20... So the first thing they notice is tarps and blood all up the rooms. Okay, Lisa Guy's head was in a pot on the stove. There was a stew. He'd attempted to make a stew of his father's body parts. That was on the stove. He stabbed his mother 31 times. he stabbed his father. He attacked his father with a knife and with a hammer. He stabbed his father 58 times and he smashed his head in with the hammer like that, and then waited for his mother to come home, attacked her and stabbed her 31 times. They also found lists in Joel Guy Jr.'s handwriting saying, for the Walmart trip, the famous Walmart trip where he went to get killing knives, he wrote down get killing knives, get killing saw, get dismemberment tools, and it was all written down, and it was almost like a child, like the way he wrote it was like, if both parents die, I not only get a house, I get a whole thing. Now, bearing in mind, Joel Guy Jr. had been in college for 9 years and he's writing like a little kid, you know. And when you see pictures of him with those starry eyes, there's something really, really off about Joel Guy Jr. I believe he's just an evil person. But let's carry on with the crime scene. So they found a stew of human remains on the stove. They found Lisa Guy's head in a pot. She's been stabbed 31 times and dismembered. His father has been stabbed 58 times and dismembered. There were body parts all over the house, all over the stairs, and the heat. The first thing they noticed, the police, was the heat, because he didn't realise, for all his education, I think he was a bit stupid. He didn't realise how much work there is in dismembering a human body. And he just got lazy and he put the heating on full blast. He put the heat on full blast, closed the door and just left, hoping, that they would just decompose. Anyway, he gets arrested. He pleads guilty. When they take him to court, he asks for the death penalty. He actually requested the death penalty. They said, no, you have to take responsibility for what you've done. And the whole time he was in court, he was just lifeless, just staring at the judge, just absolutely lifeless, no emotion, no empathy, absolutely no remorse. Right after he was locked up, he wrote a shocking, disgusting letter to the press saying that he was fantasizing about popping out his cellmate's eyes and doing something to the head. And he was fantasizing about chopping up his cellmates, like he has to be kept in solitary so that he won't kill anyone. He's an absolutely just sharper than a serpent's tooth, the ultimate ungrateful child. But Joel Guy Jr. is a disgusting, I can't call him a human being. He's a disgusting person. I just want to say that. So that is the case of Joel Guy Jr. Thank you for watching. This is Filthy Ketchup. Be safe out there. Don't forget, wherever you are today, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, no matter where you are, whether you're at home, at school, in the office. Please be kind to each other. Please be kind to yourself. This is Filthy Ketchup. Peace out.